This is 6th grade study guide 8B. Number 1. It says, which of these angles could measure 120 degrees? So we're looking for the angle that could measure 120 degrees. Now remember, 120 degrees means that it's going to be an obtuse angle. So we have a straight line with point A, point D, and point C on a ray. And then from here, measuring out here, we have a point, and it's B. Okay, so let's look at our different angles. We have angle A, D, and B, which is an obtuse angle. We have angle B, D, and C, which is an acute angle. So looking at these angles, angle A, D, B, or we could say angle B, D, A would measure 120 degrees because it is an obtuse angle. Number 2. Looks like my computer is slowing down a little bit. Let me eject this. Number 2. It says, which digit in the number 4, 3, 7, comma, 286, comma, 190. In this number, we are looking for the number that is in the hundred thousands place. The hundred thousands. So 190 is in the hundreds place. This would be the thousands place. So we have 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. So our answer would be 2. The 2 is in the 100,000 place. Number 3. It says Marco correctly answered 15 of the 20 problems. What fraction of the problems did he answer correctly? So he answered 15 out of 20. So we can reduce 15 out of 20 by multiplying or dividing by 5. 5 will go into 15 3 times. 5 will go into 20 4 times. So he answered 15 out of 20, or 3/4 of the problems. Number 4. It says estimate the sum of 8,972 and 4,106. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to estimate both numbers. So looking at 8,972, 8,900 is closer to 9,000. And looking at 4,106, that tells me that this is closer to 4,000. So my problem says estimate the sum. Sum means to add. So I'm going to add 9,000 plus 4,000. 9 plus 4 is 13. And now I need to add 1, 2, 3 zeros to the end of it. So my answer would be 13,000. Number 5. We have 5 squared plus the square root of 16. 5 squared means 5 times 5, which equals 25. And the square root of 16, that's what number times itself equals 16. Okay, so 4 times 4 equals 16. So 25 plus 4 equals 29. Okay, so the square root of 5 plus 5 squared plus the square root of 16 equals 29. I'm sorry, my computer is acting up. Okay, number 6. Since Juanita's 3 test scores were 81, 84, and 84. What was the average of her 3 scores? So we're going to add 81 plus 84 plus 84. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then 3 times 8 is 24. We have 3 test scores, so we're going to divide 249 by 3. Okay, 3 times 8 is 24. 3 will divide into 9 3 times. So her average score is an 83. Number 7. It says, what is the greatest common factor of 21 and 35? 21 and 35. So we're looking for the GCF, the greatest common factor. Well, let's find out what the factors of 21 are. We know 1 times 21 is 21. 2 will not divide into 21 because it is odd. 3 will divide into 21 7 times. 4 will not divide into 21. 5 will not divide into 21. And 6 will not divide into 21. So the factors of 21 are 1, 3, 7, and 21. The factors of 35. 1 will go into 35 times. 2 will not divide into 35 because it is odd. 3 will not divide into 35, and we know that by the divisibility test. 5 plus 3 is 8. 3 will not divide into 8, so 3 is not a factor. 4 will not divide into 35. 5 will divide into 35. 5 times 7 is 35. And 6 will not divide into 35. So we're looking for the greatest common factor. What's the biggest number that these two numbers share? They both share a 1. They do not share a 3 or a 5, but they do share a 7. They do not share 21 or 35, so the greatest common factor is 7. Okay, number 8. Okay, number 8. It says 40% of the students were boys? What fraction of the students were boys? So 40 out of 100 40% were boys. So that's 40 out of 100. Okay, I can quickly reduce this down by counting out my 0 up top with my 0 at the bottom and reduce it down to 4/10. Now 4/10 will reduce down. 2 will go into both 4 and 10. 2 will go into 4 2 times. 2 will go into 10 5 times. So my answer is 2/5. Number 9. I have 3 3/4 plus 1 1/4. When I work these type of problems, I like to stack them on top of each other. So I'm going to rewrite it, and I'm going to say 3 3/4 plus 1 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to add my numerators first. 3 plus 1 is 4. My denominator is 4. Now I'm going to add my whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4. Well, 4/4 equals 1. So now I have 1 whole plus the 4 whole that I have. So my answer is going to be 5. Number 10. Five minus 1 1/3. Again, I'm going to stack them on top of each other so I can work it out a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to have 5 minus 1 1/3. Okay, I have a whole number on top. I have a mixed number on the bottom. Okay, I cannot subtract a mixed number from a whole number. So I'm going to have to make a mixed number on the top. In order to do this, I'm going to have to change my 5 into a mixed number. So my denominator is 3. So in order to have a whole, I'm going to have to take away a whole. So I'm going to have 4 whole with 3/3, which gives me a whole to equal the 5. Okay, now I can subtract 1 1/3 from 4 3/3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Three minus 1 is 2. My denominator is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. So my answer is 3 2/3. Number 11. What is the product of 1/2 and 2/3? I have to remember that the word product means that I'm going to multiply. If I simply multiply straight across, that would give me 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6, which I reduce down to 1/3. I could also cross multiply. 2 will divide into 2 one time. So then I could simply multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. I'm still going to get the same answer whether or not I cross multiplied or I simply multiplied straight across and then reduced down. Number 12. School starts at 8:30 a.m. and ends at 2:45 p.m. I'm sorry, I don't know why my computer is running so slow. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make that 8:30 to the nearest hour. So I'm going to change it to 9 o'clock and I'm going to bank 30 minutes. Okay, so then I'm going to make it until 12 o'clock. So 9 plus 3 is 12. So I'm going to make it to 12 o'clock and I'm going to make it to 12 o'clock p.m. and I'm going to bank 3 hours. Now from 12 to 2, that would be 2 hours. So I'm going to bank another 2 hours. Okay, now I just need to bank from 2 to 2:45, which is 45 minutes. So I'm going to add up my hours. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now I'm going to add my minutes. I have 30 minutes plus 45 minutes, which means I have 75 minutes. Okay, I know that there are only 60 minutes in an hour. So I've gone over that hour. So I'm going to add an hour to my 5. To make it 6 hours. As you can see, I'm still struggling. Okay, so now if I subtract the 75 from 60, I have 15 minutes left over. So we're in school for 6 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, so from 8:30 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. is 6 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, number 13. Says, what is the least common multiple of 3 and 6? Again, a multiple. A multiple is I'm multiplying that number by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to stop right there. The reason I'm stopping is because my second number is a 6. 6 times 1 is 6. So my least common multiple is going to be 6. It's the smallest number they have in common. Number 14. A rectangle see if I can use my pen again. Says a rectangle is 8 inches long and 6 inches wide. How many 1 squared inch tiles are needed to cover this area? So we're looking for the area. And area equals length times width. So we're simply multiplying 8 times 6. 8 inches times 6 inches. Okay, so I'm multiplying 8 times 6, which is 48. And I'm multiplying my inches, which means that my inches are going to be squared. So it's 48 square inches. Number 15. Says which digit in 12.345 is in the hundredths place. This hundredths ends in THS. That means it's going to be to the right of the decimal. The 3 is in the tenths place. The 4 is in the hundredths place. So the answer is going to be 4. 4 is in the hundredths place. Number 16. Says write the decimal number for 3 and, tells me I have 3 whole, and is a decimal, 3 and 12 hundredths. So that would be simply 12. 3.12. Number 17. It says 0.3 plus 0.4 plus 0.5. Remember, when we're adding decimals, the biggest thing is to make certain we have our numbers lined up correctly. Now we're just simply adding. 3 plus 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. So I'm bringing down my 2, carry my 1, bring down my decimal. So 1 plus all these zeros is just simply 1, so the answer is 1.2. Number 18. 6 plus 4.2 so now I'm going to put a point and a 0 after the 6 plus 0.36 okay, so I'm going to put a 0 after my 2 and my 0 here. Okay, so that's 6 plus 0 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. Bring down my decimal. 4 plus 6 is 10. So my answer is 10.56. Number 19. 0.23 supposed to be a 3 minus 0.19 Okay, I cannot subtract 9 from 3, so I'll have to borrow from the 2, make that a 1. Change my 3 to 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. So my answer is 0.04. And 20. It's 0.4 times 0.12. Okay, so since I have two numbers, three numbers, I'm going to put the three numbers on top to make my multiplying a little bit easier. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 0 is 0. Remember, I don't worry about the decimals right now. Okay, I'm going to put a 0 underneath the 4 because I'm done with the 4. Now, 0 times everything is 0. So I'm just simply going to erase that 0 because I don't need it. Okay, now I need to find out how many places I need to move to add my decimal. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to come down here at the bottom. 1, 2, 3 places. So my number is 0.048, or I can put a 0 in front of it. 0.048 would be my answer. This completes our study guide. Our test will be tomorrow.